Hello children, how are you children? Hope you are doing well. Welcome to the science class. Now you are going to study the unit 1, laws of motion. In your lower classes, you might study about this motion and the different type of motion. It's periodic motion, rectilinear motion, circular motion, oscillatory motion and this random motion. Have you ever thought about the causes of this motion? After the discovery of this Newton's laws of motion, we are having this clear idea about that force. Usually the force is a push or a pull which applies on an object to make a change in this velocity. Let us talk about this force and the motion according to the great scientist. Aristotle is a great scientist. Not only the great scientist, he is a philosopher. He proposed one theory, or he proposed about the concept of this forces. The natural motion and another one is the violent motion. He proposed every object in the earth, it is in the state of rest. Thing in this moving condition, it automatically come to rest. That is called as this natural motion, and that is no force is applied here, then it is called as this force independent. Next one, if you want to make a move, we are applying the force which the object it can be moved, that the motion will be contrary to the natural motion of an object. He also proposed when two objects are having this different mass, when they are to drop from the height, they reaches a ground in different interval of time. Next we talk about the great scientist Galileo. A great scientist Galileo, he proposed the concept of a force, motion and inertia. He proposed that everything is in the state of rest or in the continuous motion. Second one, he proposed when a thing is in this continuous motion unless an external force is applied. And third, the thing doesn't want to change its position, it resists the unbalanced force. He did an experiment in this vacuum. He dropped two objects which are having this different masses from the height. Since it is a vacuum, there is no air resistance. Two objects reaches the ground in the same time. Now we are going to study about this inertia. Let me give an example so it will be easy for you to understand the inertia. You just imagine if you are sitting in the bus is also in rest. Next case, the driver he started the bus. Now we are in the state of moving. Next one, if the driver applies a brake. Next, if a driver want to turn its direction, first rest, second one is motion and third one is the direction. Now we come to this definition of this inertia. Inertia means the inherent property of a body to resist the change of rest or motion or the direction unless an external force is applied. The force is an unequal force. Now we are going to study about the three types of inertia. One is inertia of rest, another one is inertia of motion and third one is inertia of direction. Let me do an activity. It is given in your book, so it will be easy for you to understand the inertia of rest. I take one empty glass and I place a cardboard on the glass and I place a coin on the cardboard. Now I flick the cardboard. You see the coin is in the tumbler. Do you know the reason? It doesn't want to change its position of rest. So this is the inertia of rest. Let us consider about the second case. The driver starts a bus. You are in the moving condition. When the driver starts a bus, what will happen? You will go back. Why? You don't want to change your position of rest. That is called as this inertia of motion. And the third case, when you are traveling in the bus with a particular velocity, if a driver wants to take a turn, automatically your body lean to the opposite direction. So, this is called as inertia of direction. There are so many examples given in our book. Let me explain about the three different type of inertia and give a definition. The resistance of the body to change its position of rest is called as inertia of rest. Next one, the resistance of the body to change its position of motion is called as inertia of motion. And the third one is the resistance of the body to change its position of direction is called as this direction, the inertia of direction. Now, we are having this clear idea about this inertia. So, it will be easy for you to study the Newton's first law. According to Newton's first law, every object or every body, it will want to be in the state of rest or in uniform motion unless an external force is applied. You do not memorize it, you remember three words, one is rest, next one is motion, another one is this external force. So, according to Newton's first law, the body wants to be in the state of rest or in the state of uniform motion unless an external force is applied. What are the effect of force? In the first case, it want to change the rest position. In the second, the force it want to change, stop the moving body. And third one, it want to change its direction. There are number of forces. Now, we are going to study about the two forces. One is this parallel force, next one is like parallel force and this unlike parallel force. Let us see the combined effect of force. There are two types of forces, one is like parallel force and the unlike parallel force. The example is given in your book. I am so glad to see the example because we are having this tug of war in our school during this annual sports meet. The number of persons who are standing in one side is equal to the number of persons who are standing in the left side. They go on pulling the rope. That is a midpoint. A person who is applying this larger force is considered as a winner. Next one is this resultant force. The parallel force acting in the same direction. F1 and F2 are the parallel forces which are acting in the same direction. So, what will be the resultant force? The F net, the net force is equal to the addition of the two forces, that is F net is equal to F1 plus F2. Next one is this unlike parallel force. They are acting in the different direction. Let us consider the first force as F1 and the force which is acting in the opposite direction as F2. If F1 is greater than F2, what will be the resultant force? The F net is equal to F1 minus F2. If F2 is greater than F1, what will be the net force? F net is equal to F2 minus F1. Third case, the parallel equal forces applied in the different direction. Let F1 is 5 and F2 also 5 Newton. Both the forces are acting in the different direction. And what will be the net force? The net force is 0. When the net force is 0, then it is called as this balance force. When the net force is not equal to 0, then we call them as this unbalanced force. Okay, can we able to study the effect of force or the impact of force? Yes, we can. By the linear momentum. By studying the linear momentum, we can find magnitude of the forces. Let me give one example. A person is standing at the corner of the road. When a cycle comes towards the person, at the same time, the heavy vehicles comes towards the person with a huge velocity. What will happen? The effect of the force is a maximum in the truck. So, we can calculate the effect of force with the linear momentum by an equation. The linear momentum is equal to mass into velocity. M be the mass of a person or the thing and v is this velocity. So, the linear momentum is equal to mass into velocity. The rotating effect of a force. So far, we have studied about the effect of force in a linear direction. The force can rotate and it can cause effect. Let me explain clearly with an example. If you want to open the door or close the door, you can apply the force in a particular point, or you are applying the force in this handle. The door is fixed in one point and that is called as its axis of rotation. With the help of the axis of rotation, we can move the door. With the help of this handle, we can open the door or close the door. The rotation with respect to a point is called as this point of rotation. It is moving with respect to the point. Now, the point is called as this pivot point. The fulcrum, and we are applying the force at a particular distance. If the distance is increased, it is easy to apply the lesser force to do the action. Here, it is P is this point. We are moving the handle in the perpendicular direction. So, we can able to move the door easily. This is called as this rotating effect of force. Next one is this moment of force. The rotating effect of a force about an fixed point or the fixed axis is called as this momentum of force about the point, or it is called as torque. So, torque tau is equal to force into distance. F is the force and the d is the distance between the pivot point and the line of action. If we increase the distance, we will easily do that work. What are the effects of torque? Let us see with an example. The gear, second one is the seesaw, and the third one is the steering wheel. Do you like to ride a bicycle which is having this gear? Yes, of course, because it is quite interesting to ride a bicycle with a gear. You can apply this a lesser amount of force, the speed is increases. Here torque is transferred by applying this lesser amount of force. In the gear, we are having this teeth which is attached to this rib. Next one is a seesaw. Do you want to play seesaw? It's quite interesting. The heavier person who is sitting at one side and the person who is having this lower weight sitting in this other side, the lower person can lift the person who is having this larger weight. And the third one is the steering wheel. When compared to the size of the steering wheel, it is a very less when compared to the size of this car. What are the given examples in your book? Gear, seesaw and the steering wheel. What is the unit of the torque? Torque tau is equal to force into distance. What is the unit of force? The unit of force is Newton and the distance in meter. So, the unit of torque is Newton meter. Next one is couple. When two equal and unequal forces applied simultaneously at two distinct points, it constitutes a couple. Here there is no resultant force. So, the rotation effect of this couple is called as this moment of couple. What is the moment of couple here? We can able to calculate by the formula, that is the rotating effect of couple. The rotating moment of couple M is equal to F into S. F is the force and S is the perpendicular distance from the fixed point to this line of action. What is the unit here? F is Newton and S is a distance. So, the unit of the moment of couple is Newton meter. Now, we are going to study about this principle of moment. When a number of like and unlike parallel forces act on the rigid body and the body is in equilibrium, then the algebraic sum of those moments in this clockwise direction is equal to the moment in the anti-clockwise direction. Small example, a seesaw. There is a point, midpoint. That point is called as this pivot point, and it is called as this fulcrum. And two sides, the force is applied. F1 be the force in one side and F2 be the force in the other side. Let us calculate the distance between the center point and the force F1. It will be D1. And the distance between the center and F2 is D2. Here there are two directions. One is this clockwise direction, another is in the anti-clockwise direction.
By convention,
we can take the clockwise direction in this negative sign, in this anti-clockwise direction in the positive sign. So, we can able to calculate the moment of force. So, moment of force is F1 into D1 is equal to F2 into D2. You are having one practicals based on this principle of moment. We can able to calculate the unknown weight with the help of this principle of moment. Next one is Newton's second law. The force acting on a body is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum of a body, and the change of momentum takes place in the direction of the force. So, F is equal to rate of change of momentum. What is momentum? Momentum P is equal to m into v. There are two types of velocities. One is this initial velocity, let us take it is at u, and this final velocity v. What is the difference in this velocity? V minus u. Rate of change of momentum means there is a difference in the velocity. So, mv minus mu is divided by t is called as rate of change of momentum. According to Newton's second law, the force is directly proportional to this rate of change of momentum. So, F is equal to m into v minus u divided by t. Already studied what is acceleration. Acceleration means rate of change of velocity. So, a is equal to v minus u divided by t. Now, we are substituting a here. So, F is equal to m into a. We can easily memorize this Newton's second law, that is F is equal to ma, that father is equal to mother. So, F is equal to ma is Newton's second law. Force required to produce an acceleration of the moving body when it is travelling in the circular path. Let us consider an object which is moving in the circular path with a uniform speed. Even though it is having this uniform speed, since it is travelling in the circular path, the direction changes. So, this velocity is also changes. It creates an acceleration. The rate of change of velocity is acceleration. That acceleration is called as is centripetal acceleration. That force is called as is centripetal force. Here, what is the unit of force? Unit of force is Newton, and the definition of Newton is the force required by a body of mass 1 kg and creating an acceleration of 1 meter per second square, that is called as 1 Newton. This is a SI unit of force. In CGS system, the unit of a force is dyne. Here, this amount of force required by a body of mass 1 gram and produce an acceleration of centimeter per second is called as is 1 dyne. Here 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power of 5 dyne. We can convert the dyne into Newton and Newton into dyne. Next one is this impulse. What is impulse? If you are standing in the school, suddenly your friend hit on you, that is called as impulse. The definition of impulse: a large force acting for a very short interval of time is called as a impulsive force. When a force F acts on a body for a period of time t, then the product of the force and the time is known as impulse. So, impulse J is equal to F into t. In your video, you see a vehicle which is having this shock absorber. It is quite interesting, or it is very pleasant when we are traveling in the sophisticated car. In the sophisticated car, the shock absorber is used, so the impact is very less, so the journey is very comfortable. Riding in this automobile with the shock absorber is very interesting. Next one is Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. F1 is equal to F2, that is minus F2. Here an example, a quite interesting example. A gun. When we are firing the gun moves in the opposite direction to the bullet. The mass of the bullet is very small, so it will travel with this greater velocity, and the gun moves with this lesser velocity. In this next example, the upward stroke and the downward stroke of the birds. If a bird wants to fly up, the movement of the bird is an example of this Newton's third law. Next example is rowing in the boat. If we are pushing this water back, the boat will go to the front direction. And the next one is the principle of conservation of linear momentum. We have studied about the linear momentum. Linear momentum P is equal to mass into velocity. Here we are studying about the principle of conservation of linear momentum. What is the meaning of conservation? There is no change. So, what is the definition here? There is no change in the linear momentum of a system, of a body, as long as no net external forces acted on them. Let us take two balls having a mass m1 and m2. They are having this velocity u1 and u2. U is the initial velocity. After a time t, they collide with each other. Due to collision, it attains this velocity v1 and v2. Let v1 be the velocity of a body A and v2 be the velocity of a body B. In the absence of this external force, the algebraic sum of the momentum after collision is equal to the algebraic sum of the momentum before collision. Now, we are going to solve that. What is the force here? Force is equal to m into A. A is an acceleration. What is acceleration? Rate of change of velocity. So, F is equal to m into v minus u divided by t. If we talk about the force Fb due to the force Fa, Fb is equal to m2 into v2 minus u2 divided by t. The force Fa due to Fb, what will be the force? That is Fa is equal to m1 into v1 minus u1 divided by t. According to Newton's third law, what is Newton's third law? For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Here, action and reaction. So, here Fb is equal to minus Fa. So, we put Fa and Fb. Since t is common, we remove t and multiply by m1 and m2 on both sides. So, according to the conservation of linear momentum, m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is equal to m1 u1 plus m2 u2. Let me tell once again, in the absence of external force, the algebraic sum of the moment before collision is equal to the algebraic sum of the momentum after collision, and this is called as this principle of conservation of linear momentum.
Children, shall we summarize our topic?
Type of forces like parallel forces and unlike parallel forces. Next one, the Newton's first law. Everybody wants to be in the state of rest or of uniform motion unless applied by an external force. Next one is a moment of force. The moment of force, the torque and its application, and the Newton's third law couple the rotating effect of forces in this principle of conservation of moment. In this lesson, laws of motion. We will see the rest of the portion in the next class. Thank you, children.